Hey, this is Notser, and today we're taking a look at the Tier 10 British destroyer, Druid. We're on the map north, and it's a great game. It's competitive, it's not a blowout. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. For the build, main armament mod 1, extended duration hydroacoustic, improved main battery aim, faster rudder shift, concealment, better main battery rate of fire. For the commander, incoming fire alert, last stand, survivability expert, concealment, radiolocation, superintendent, adrenaline rush, and preventive maintenance. I really like this build on pretty much all of my DDs, and obviously I'm rocking it on this one, so we're going to try and make it work. So we spawned in the center area, and my initial goal was to try and work with someone who would have superior concealment, whether it be a submarine or this friendly Shimakaze. He happens to have chosen potentially going towards Sea Point, which was a little bit surprising to me, but I also wanted to take this opportunity to come from this direction, because if you come from this direction, there's a lot of island coverage around Sea Point, and I can use that to my advantage. I decided to stay about 1 kilometer back from the Shima because I have about 6.6 kilometer detection. 1 kilometer less than that is 5.6, which is exactly what the Shima's base detection would be if he were to use his concealment module and commander skill and all that stuff. So I was expecting that he would maybe body spot first, and then I could take advantage of that either by smoking and firing, or firing and smoking, whichever direction you want. And, you know, we're approaching. One enemy gearing is spotted near Sea Point, but not on it. We also noticed the Golden Lion. He is tucked in, and I was considering for a second, because of the location, there wouldn't be anyone who would have direct line of sight. I could potentially fire for free. However, I felt like, based on the deploy, the best thing that I can potentially do is to aggressively get into position and capture the base. Now we're going to take a little bit of secondaries because we were spotted for a little bit, 3 to 5 seconds, but that was only to get into capture. And there is no back gun, there is no torpedo, this is all about the guns. And it's only AP, so it has to work. I activate hydroacoustic, it's a great defender tool, and I'm just going to chill for at least 35 seconds. Hopefully we can get some enemy battleships, enemy cruisers spotted over here. I don't expect that we'll see the gearing again, but stranger things have happened. And, you know, if you locate this AP on the superstructure, regardless of the angle, you will be effective. One of the enemy ships decides to send torpedoes, which are hydroacoustic spots. The only ship that could potentially be the source of a 4-torp is that Napoli, and someone has activated smoke south of Sea Point, so I expect that maybe that is indeed the Napoli. Now we're going to just back up a bit, as we have already captured the base. Enemy torpedoes were attempting to deny us this capture, but it's just not going to work out. There's too much island coverage there, and I decide we have a good opportunity to potentially farm some armor piercing. I activate my smoke. Well, troll myself, because now there's no one actually spotting the enemy ship, which isn't what I want. I was hoping that he would be spotted so I could just farm him. While that's going on, enemy Napoli decided to move towards Sea Point and is actively capturing it right now. I do have my hydro up for another 2 minutes, so as long as I'm not directly spotted, my hydroacoustic will spot this target if he continues to go down this direction. We're going to get a little bit of free damage, and note, the friendly Shimakaze activates his smoke. And I'm wondering, why is he activating his smoke? Oh, he has to move into Sea Point to contest, which places him right in front of the Napoli. Now the Napoli is body spotting us, and someone lands a big shot, so I'm going to use my main battery, take out his front nose. Enemy submarine is the source of the spotting, so I figure, okay, well, we got to force this guy down, and of course avoid the torpedoes because he does want to land them on us. So I'm going to sail towards the island to get some cover, And we're going to aim at the submarine as best as we can while he's being under the water. And it does look like he is trying to run away, but it's not going to be enough. And in fact, he dies. Just in the nick of time, of course, we run into the island. I was surprised, but I also see a little bit of the irony. Isn't it humorous that for destroyers, their guns are better than driving over the target and dropping depth charges? Yeah, you're going to see that again in this game, by the way, because there is another submarine that we have to deal with. But it's just hilariously annoying that I basically have useless anti-submarine with the way the game is designed. So we back up away from the island. Enemy Ohio is trying to move forward. His bow is showing a little too much side, so we're going to take advantage of that. Whoop. Golden Lion's moving up with hydroacoustic. That is the signal to retreat at full speed. And I'm hoping that I can dive behind this island without taking too much damage. And he misses with his airstrike ability, which is good. And we may actually move outside of his hydroacoustic range. So as I'm moving away, I just want to take stock. Okay, so the Golden Lion's there. There was an Ohio as well that potentially will come around. And then there is some DD that has been farming me inside of that smoke that's just south as well. Now, I go a little too far to the other side of the island. The Golden Lion stops and is able to spot me. I expected him to carry his momentum past it. But we're able to recover the positioning, so we can reduce most of the damage taken. Enemy Ohio gets a high explosive shell off, but minimal damage, all things considered. And because he's broadside, we're just going to switch on the AP. It works so well, of course we're going to do it. And our smoke is just about off a cooldown. This enemy Golden Lion's dealing with torpedoes and angling, and definitely going to knock him down a peg, and hopefully this can finish him off. And again, we miss with a chance to get the kill. But I still have my smoke, and there is a broadside battleship, so of course go right back in to activate our AP broadside. There's an enemy Schlieffen on the east side pushing up. But right now, my whole focus is on this Ohio, trying to damage him. We have 20 seconds left on smoke before it drops off. And we're doing pretty decent damage here with the broadside. Really high damage, of course, when given the right opportunity to fire AP with the Druid. It is a very exotic ship compared to, say, the Daring, because the Daring obviously has torpedoes, and obviously has high explosive. It has just more traditional tools that you would expect. Whereas the Druid's really all in on AP main battery. But we are successful in doing decent damage and forcing the Ohio to actually take cover. And by doing so, he can't actually return fire. So it's honestly a win-win, because we can continuously move away from the enemy, and there is an enemy capturing, probably the Yueyang in smoke. But we are just wrecking this guy. And hopefully we can kill him before he gets another shot off, and he does get another shot off. Angle, angle, angle. Always find the best thing that you can do when you're dealing with something similar to that is to just throw it into high gear and angle as best as you can, because most likely the shots, they're not going to consider your momentum. But the Ohio backs up, aiming at the waterline once again, hopefully getting some good AP salvos, and yes, we are getting some good AP salvos. Is it going to be enough? Oh, he is so low. He's going to get to like 3K. No, he does not get to 3K life. But friendlies have an open season fire shot on him, and I'm sure they're just going to take out that Ohio. Yep. See you later, Ohio. And the enemy normalizes that kill with another kill. So we've got a very close game. They are actively capturing D point. Friendly battleship is out of position to stop it. But notice something that I notice. My radio location is not pointing at the Schlieffen. Oh, the Yueyang floods out the Smolensk. He's not pointing at the Schlieffen. And there's only 2 more DDs, 1 spotted. This is the sub. And yes, I see you, Mr. Submarine. Of course, the sub, low on energy, has to dip below, and he will be back shortly. We're just going to attempt to get close to him, and that's him going to maximum depth. When he leaves the periscope depth and hits maximum depth, it instantly deactivates radiolocation. But we're still going to go on an intercept course. We have hydroacoustic, which is going to be really nice for hunting anything underwater. He's attempting to hide, but it's just not going to happen, man. You don't have enough energy, and I want to get you. Friendly submarine has him spotted, and he did send torpedoes towards the enemy submarine, which do decent damage, honestly. Good job. Let's see where he ends up going. The enemy sub might match his depth to the friendly submarine in an attempt to send torpedoes. And I'm going to be here to pounce on him instantly. And oh, there are the torpedoes, point blank both. They both miss. And the only other option is that the submarine surfaces. We still haven't gotten into depth charge range, but as he surfaces, I'm just going to fire my guns point blank. This is probably one of the more disappointing aspects of this, is that DDs just don't have anti-submarine. I guess they're not allowed to. And I know they have it, but when my guns do more damage and they come default equipped, they don't have it. It might as well not exist on my ship. It might be, you know, an empty icon, never reload. Didn't need it. Wasn't going to make me better. It's mostly the thing that grinds my gear about the sub-DD relationship, is that DDs are just not allowed to be effective, even though they were the most effective sub-hunters at the time. So it's awkward, it's weird, but we were able to take out the sub and return back to the sea area where the enemy, of course, has captured it. The Shimakaze is in retreat. I didn't want to over-pursue, and I certainly didn't want to go for D. And the reason I didn't want to go for D is I felt like I could put pressure back on the enemy faster by going to C point. There are multiple friendlies that are in the area, and my radio location is communicating that someone is still on the corner of the island just outside of D point for the enemy team. So knowing that... Oh, and we get extra confirmation right there. Whenever a ASW is used, it draws a straight line through your ship so that anyone who follows the flight path of the aircraft can easily recognize the general location and trace it back to the enemy battleship in this instance. And enemy Schlieffen spotted by friendly. I'm waiting for him to fire his main battery. He fires his main battery. That's the cue to push on and try and take him out. Of course, his secondaries are going to do tons of damage, but friendly plus myself able to knock him out before he did much of anything to me. And now we should be able to capture C point. There is an enemy capturing D point, so this should be pretty open and free. Did a quick check on the western flank, and I note, oh, friendly submarine has no dive capacity. And the last spotted location of the Holland is just south of his position. He's clearly using his hydrophone to detect him, and in fact, he has a body spot on him because he had to surface. So in response to this, instead of going for the Yueyang, which had to pull back because a friendly was crowding him out, I'm going to look to address the Holland, because the friendly sub's really, really low. If the Holland kills him, he takes A point, and maybe he spots another ship. He needs to be dealt with. So we're headed out towards him. Enemy Moskva, bow position, in the back. Yueyang is full life and spotted. He has a huge advantage if he can use it. I don't know if he can. Friendly submarine went to depth, hopeful that as he goes to maximum depth right before dive capacity runs out, it will give him the most time to stay underneath the water without being spotted. Now he's going to cross over the maximum depth and enter into the periscope depth, and now, of course, he's going to be spotted by the Holland. So in response to that, I just open up on the Holland. Even if this isn't an optimal range, I want him to be distracted by me and have to deal with me. Oh! Friendly is able to knock him out with the rear-launched torpedoes. Well done. That Holland was going to die either way, just because of the situation, and it worked out nicely. So I'm going to head south to the Moskva and potentially finish this game, because there's only 100 points left, about a minute and 15 left. And that was a pretty fun game in the Druid. Druid has a lot of damage per minute with the guns when they're pointed at something. It doesn't have good concealment. It doesn't have torpedoes, so it needs a very strict follow on the attributes. Otherwise, you might as well play the Daring or the Jutland, because those ships are going to give you a better experience with the Brits. Friendly's doing good, decent damage to the Moskva as he's backing up. Ooh, nice, yes. One more salvo should be enough, Burgon. I wonder if he has main battery at this point. He's lit on fire. Not a big deal. That Yueyang is still full life. And he knocks out the Moskva, and that's the game. Pretty good. Had a lot of fun in the Druid, and it was nice to play in a game where it wasn't immediately decided at the very beginning. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Top on the team, 3 kills, a couple base captures. Yeah, Druid's great. It's a fun ship. It is a research bureau ship, so something to consider in the future. If you enjoyed it, please like. I stream at twitch.tv/Notser. Thank you and have a wonderful day.